honorable members of the Youth Parliament, honorable fellow students, all other protocols sincerely observed. When they were speaking, I was wondering where and when and how I was going to start my intervention. They call it a lecture. It is not a lecture, it is academic. We are not here dealing with academic matters. We are dealing with practical matters affecting our lives daily. So it is not a lecture, it is a chat with you. And that's why we are going to intervene consequently. I'm going to start with my very dear lady poet. I was impressed by what she said. And now I think I'm not lonely. Before I think I was lonely and struggling. People are taking established in our country. Which is, in my view, Parliament look at the Parliament, it is the origin of that. So that is why we should give utmost importance to Parliament and who goes to Parliament. There is a law which is no longer applied when selecting parliamentary candidates, but it was when I started in 1986, 87. That is in the Act. If you want to become a candidate in parliamentary election, you should be subjected to what they call linguistic test. That doesn't happen anymore. Why? Because it is not your language that you are going to speak here. It is a foreign language that you are going. They want to be sure that you can read and write adequately in that language. Because here, they bring technical documents which are written in English. If your English is at a certain level, you cannot deal with them. But you are an elected member of Parliament. You owe your people to deal with those documents adequately in order to have a worthwhile input into whatever is going to happen. So that is also a huge deficit in our current democratic dispensation. I think it is time we give thought to who we elect to represent us in this institution. It is the most important institution. It is the institution which can destroy this country. It is also the institution that can make this country, that can prevent this country from going down the drain. But you must have the tools to do that. And Parliament, the development is a process. It will always be going upwards, not upwards, then downwards. If that happens, that is going to determine the nature of the development of your country. Parliament's development should always be upward. It should always be improving upwards, not going downward. This interface, I call it interface, is very important. It is pity that the clerk is not around. You are here. I must say that we must thank him profoundly for having initiated this excellent idea. It is excellent because, in my view, there is no thing wrong with the clerk choosing one of you, the public, to come and sit here and do what I would call evaluation of the performance of the Parliament. In fact, what is here now should be a stock-taking of the Parliament. Your role here is to stock-take the performance of the Parliament. That is it's not only to increase the visibility of Parliament, but for the Parliament to know the reaction of the public to what they are doing here. And they cannot know that unless you are given the opportunity to come and give your views about the performance of Parliament. So I would suggest that next time, one of the panelists or some of the panelists of this function should be the public themselves, for you to hear what they think of you, what you are doing, how do they appreciate it. What input do they have to make you improve upon what you are going to do here, or what you are doing here? That is fundamental. But you must also take interest in the institution, but you don't. Because none of you come here to attend the sittings of the National Assembly. How would you assess your members? How would you assess and evaluate your representatives if you don't know how they are performing? That is why it is free and is open to anybody who wants to come and listen to the representatives when they are in session in Parliament, particularly you young people. I think from now on you should take interest, particularly those who are members of the Youth Parliament. You should take interest when you have the time, you are not engaged, you should attend every sitting of this Parliament. Not only the session, but even committee meetings, they are open to the public, unless of course there is something that makes it unnecessary for the public to be there. Because there are certain matters that are discussed in camera. But there are many, many issues which are dealt with openly. So you can meet, you can attend. And you see how your MPs are performing, how they are trying to defend the interests, how they are trying to bring about improvement in anything that is going to improve your living conditions in the country. This is very important. So I would suggest that you take that up seriously too, because otherwise our democratic dispensation will be very weak. Youth Parliament has a lot to learn from this Parliament, but you can only learn from them to come and see them at work at all times. I'm not going to speak long because I'm sure there are many of you who have questions, there are many of you who want to intervene, and I'm more interested in what you are going to say than what I'm saying. And I would be disappointed if, at the end of it, you don't do what I'm expecting you to do. Because it is you who are the leaders of today and the leaders of tomorrow. And the future depends on what you are doing today. Thank you very much.